So Eddie Howe has just held his morning press conference at Benton ahead of the Leicester City game. Obviously, Boxing Day clash. This press conference comes a couple of days earlier for obvious reasons because Christmas. So Eddie Howe today was a bit of a bumper edition, really, because it was a double press conference, which, yeah, you'll see a lot of the quotes today, and you'll see some of them on the back of Christmas Day as well, going into that clash at Leicester. But the big thing a lot of supporters have been asking about is got to be, Alexander Isak. Where is he? Where's his fitness at? And at the moment, um, you know, we've all been like a bit sort of concerned. It's a thigh injury. September was when it occurred. He didn't play in Saudi Arabia, which a lot of people expected, and you undone ball work, a bit of running over there, but nothing too competitive. And yeah, from his point of view, he will be probably a bit disappointed. He's had the 5 week break for the World Cup. He's still not back. He didn't play against Bournemouth. He is running at the moment at the training ground, but he's not going to be available for the Boxing Day trip to Leicester, which a lot of people would have hoped he would at least be on the bench, but not close to that. He won't play against Leeds, according to Eddie Howe, and he did big up what his role is going to be in January. So we do hope to see him sooner rather than later, but it's not going to be one over the festive games, which is a bit of a disappointment. But Eddie Howe today is speaking about how he can make a big impact. He was also asked about when he does get back, what position is he going to play him in? Because you've got Callum Wilson there, you've got a front three. It's not the old school 4-4-2, so it's not like you can just put two players in together. Although lots of surprises from Eddie Howe so far, you never know. But ultimately, I think from Eddie Howe's point of view, he wants consistency. So I expect him to continue with that 4-3-3 formation, and that would leave the question mark over who plays in the centre role. Is it your number 9, Callum Wilson, who's got goals, stayed relatively fit this season, and managed to get in the World Cup squad? Or do you put the guy you paid £63 million for in that position? And yeah, let's see what happens. He did touch on that, Isak can play like on that left hand side. I think he might have played there 2 or 3 times in his career, but I don't think it's the reason why he come to Newcastle. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, great players can make things happen, but you only need to go back to the entertainers where I think Kevin Keegan had that embarrassment of attacking Richards, and I think Peter Beardsley ended up somewhere right midfield, and it was sensational. But slightly different days now, of course. We'll have to wait and see where he plays, but I just think people want to see back on the pitch. Really, we've got a lot of got a taste for what he can do. That away trip to Liverpool when he scored on his debut, and sadly, after the Bournemouth game where he scored the penalty, yeah, we haven't seen him since. So he's a player that we want to see more of, but no risks from the current medical team, and no reason to risk them really. Where you look at where Newcastle are in the table, the 3rd in the league, they're in a good position. They don't need to rush anybody back. You've got Callum Wilson scoring goals. You've had Almiron, he's the top scorer with 8 goals. And you've got people like, say, Maximin vying for places, Joe Linton doing well. Ryan Fraser is another one. Jacob Murphy, who can, show exactly what he can do too. So there's so many options at the moment for Eddie Howe. It is again, it's almost like that embarrassment of Richards. But looking at the Leicester game, obviously we had the news last night that Newcastle will meet them in the quarterfinals at St James's Park. Huge game. I know there's a lot of interest already on that one, and people will expect Newcastle to get through the semi-finals the way they've been playing. So we're going to have this double header against Leicester within the space of a few weeks. The Boxing Day game, Newcastle go into this one as favourites, which is a far cry from last year. lost 4-0 down at the King Power, and Eddie Howe, that was it was early into his reign. He was still finding his feet, and from his point of view, he knew that there was a lot of work to be done there. Newcastle was staring relegation in the face. So he'll be looking at this one now to stay in that top three. Leicester have had a strange season. They started badly. Brendan Rodgers was, under a lot of pressure at one point. They've turned it around a little bit. They're not doing as poorly as they were. So they're kind of on the upwards trajectory. They are a good team. They've won trophies in the past. You've got Mr. James Maddison waiting for Newcastle. He's already talked this game up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what he delivers. And Newcastle have been interested in signing him, of course. £50 million bid wasn't enough to sign him last summer. So that was one of the other things Eddie Howe was asked about in his press conference. You will see more of those quotes after what is an embargoed period, because Newcastle, the journalists, they've got to spread the quotes across the Christmas period. So you will see that a little bit later. But for this game, I've already done my prediction. I think Newcastle win. I think it's going to be a 3-1 win, hopefully, for Newcastle. That'll send the fans home very happy. I think they've got the edge over Leicester City. Eddie Howe has got the players in a good place. He was in good, confident mood today. Looking forward to Christmas, as everyone will be, and trying to just make sure they can pick up 3 points and continue, that progress which they showed in the first half of the season. We're not even halfway, really. So these two games, Leicester and Leeds, are pivotal in my opinion. If they can get good positive results, take something from these games, 4 to 6 points, please, that would be great. Then you would go into that Arsenal game on January the 3rd, and that could be really, really tasty. And we'll see where Newcastle go from there. But that's the main update from the press conference today. As I say, Eddie Howe, if you just join him now, Eddie Howe is essentially saying Isaac won't be ready for the two festive games. It's going to be January for him, so we'll look forward to that. Just stay with us, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty more stories appearing on Chronicle Live today alone, and then over the Christmas period.